Physical evidence definition includes anything from small to very big item as long as it is going to supply a link to the investigation, then it can be called the physical evidence, and it has a very important role to play in the investigation. Now, the physical evidence is invariably be present in all the crime scenes, and it is only by way of methodical search and patience it will be located, and each crime has got a specific physical evidence, and depending upon the nature of the crime, the area of search for the physical evidence also differs. Now, it plays important role in that it supplies a missing link or strengthens a weak link that is present in the crime scene, and it helps to link the criminal with the crime scene and crime scene with the victim, and a triangular connectivity between these two things. Now, search and collection of the physical evidence, as I said, they need to be categorized. Different varieties of physical evidence are available in different scenarios. Now, there may be evidences which are very fragile, which are transient, and which lose their significance with paucity of time. And there may be some volatile evidences which are ready to evaporate, or there may be some biological evidences which are ready to putrefy. So, depending upon the nature of physical evidence, then priority has to be given to them. An evidence which is going to perish or evidence which is transitory in nature has to be given first priority, and the physical evidence invariably need to be protected once the crime scene is properly been cordoned off. Now, the collection of the physical evidence also again depends on which platform or substratum these evidences are available. Is it on a fixed substratum which is bulky in nature, or is it a movable kind of a substratum on which the physical evidences are present? So accordingly, the classification of the physical evidence also differs, like movable evidence and then immovable evidence, mobile evidence and then immobile evidence, and evidences that are pertaining to a particular crime, like when the evidences that are occurring in a rape case collectively can be called as rape evidence, and evidences occurring in a property offense like robbery can be called as a robbery evidence, etc., based on the type of crime in which they are occurring. Similarly, the evidences, what is the purpose or utility that they are serving in a particular crime, depending on that you can call them as the associative evidence, the identifying evidence, the modus operandi kind of an evidence, or screening evidence, and the evidences which throw light on the veracity of the statements made, and the corpus delicti type of an evidence. So like that, there are different schools of thought as far as the classification of the physical evidence is concerned. Now, chain of custody and integrity are the two very important factors that need to be borne in the mind of the investigating officer whenever they handle the physical evidence. Now, multiple agencies involved in the crime scene processing, and its location from the crime scene to the destination where they will be deposited for the trial. There are so many agencies that have been involved. And then there will be transfer of these exhibits or the physical evidence from one agency to the other. At each stage of transfer, it is mandatory that we need to acknowledge proper transfer, and to that extent there should be receipts with the proper sealing and authority of the personnel who is the caretaker of that evidence, so that at the time of trial it is very important from the side of the prosecution to prove to the court that at no point of time there is a breakage of this chain of custody, and it is the right of the defense again to take advantage and then probe into and then find out the loopholes, and then say at a particular given point of time there is a breakage of chain of custody, and thereby winning the case in their favor. And integrity is in whatever form the evidence is located in the evidence in the same format without any addition, alteration, or contamination is the one which is submitted in the trial court, is the fact that has to be proved in the court beyond doubt, and this constitutes the integrity of the evidence. So hence the chain of custody as well as the integrity are the two very vital things that need to be proved whenever we talk of physical evidence. And accordingly, the methods of lifting also differ. As I have already said, depending upon the substratum, whether it is bulkier or otherwise. Now, when it is huge or bulkier, then different methods of collections need to be adopted. And as far as biological evidences are concerned, they are called the scraping method and then swabbing method. And similarly, in case of footprints, we call them as a tracing method, and then the casting method, or taking the entire thing, or sweeping, or vacuum lifting, or by using lifters, commercial lifters, and using. So there are different methods of collection depending upon the nature of the evidence that is being handled. Now, it is paramount that whenever the collection methods are resorted to, we should also send what are known as the controls, the uncontaminated area of the substratum along with the stained area in a separate parcel need to be sent. So the control will serve twin purposes. That is, it will establish the scene of offense, and not only that, for example, in case when a blood stain is collected from a wall, the unstained portion of the wall almost 10 centimeters away from the stained area need to be collected, which constitutes as a control. In absence of control, the defense can very well say that whatever tests you do to confirm the presence of blood are not an account of the blood, but they can be an account of the contamination that composed the wall. So in order to answer such questions, it is very important that we need to collect the controls also, and then send them to the lab. And once these physical evidences are being processed in the form of a questionnaire, which is called the forwarding note, it will be sent to the laboratory with the required questionnaire on each exhibit, and based on that the analysis will be conducted and reports generated, and they will be sent from the laboratory to the courts. And interpretation and presentation of the document includes that the reports, once they reach the IO, it needs to be interpreted to the case on hand. That is, the report at the best say that whatever exhibits you have sent, for example, blood is present on so and so exhibits. It doesn't say, or it doesn't fix directly or establish the liability of the accused. It is for the investigating officer to draw conclusions out of the report and then interpret that to the investigation.